It's real, the mic stays warm. Hosted by the dad with lots of charm. Insights are sharp and data's tight. The lens already and the jokes online. Hot takes, real talk, keeping it true. From high school halls to podcast cues, live a little, learn a lot. Turn it up, this show is hot. Grab your coffee and let's get into it. No filter, no fluff, just real talk. Let's do it. Ready or not, here we go. It's time for Muffin to start the show.
All right. Welcome to our show here. Welcome to our show here tonight.
Hold
on.
Sorry. It's automatic.
There should have been a pause in between it.
I don't know how to do a pause on a cue.
Anyway, so welcome to Hot Takes with the Murphman. I am the Murphman. I'm here with my co-host Connor. How are we doing today, Connor?
Could do a little bit better. How you doing, Murph man?
Why? What's going on?
No, just Okay, that's so weird. Okay, now it's working. Okay, never mind. Technical difficulties, as always. As we all know.
Something different every day. We fix one, we can, right?
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is here, we're going to be talking today about how to write a college paper. I know that's something that most people don't really know about. So that's what our subject is for today. It's going to be fairly quick. I'm not going to sit here and bore you for a whole 2 hours on that. But I do want to let you guys know we are going to be talking about writing college papers today. Okay? That's going to be the subject for today. And anything going on around the world right now that you want to talk about, Connor?
I don't know much or what's going on, like, specifically.
How's school going?
Good.
Good? You ready for spring break?
Yeah, I need the break.
Yeah, we're going to do a little staycation, aren't we?
Yeah,
It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, we're going to stay here in El Paso. I don't know what else we're going to be doing, but we got some stuff going on. Now, I do want to say that before we get started with the actual show, I want to remind everybody, I am the Murphman. I'm here with my co-host, Connor. We are not experts on what we're talking about. This is just things we've been through ourselves, and we share our life stories, our experiences, our knowledge, and we want to let everybody know that sometimes, you know, conversations get real. Sometimes adult language might slip out of our mouths. We want to apologize about that right now. Most of the time it doesn't, but I mean, every now and then it does. You know, like I said, just be ready to enjoy a good show. What do you think, Connor? Are you ready to ignite the fuse?
Yeah.
And let's get this show started. You know, I cannot wait to get it started.
Why do you say that?
Because I'm waiting on you.
Oh.
College-level writing is a performance of clarity, not a contest for the most syllables. In episode 30, Mastering College-Level Writing, it's more than just bigger words. We are talking about mastering college-level writing. It's more than just bigger words. The fuse is lit. Murphman, grab the spotlight and lead the charge.
All right, you guys. Episode 30, Mastering College Level Writing. It's more than just bigger words. Now, for those of you who are on our streams on YouTube and Twitch and seeing us outside of Military Broadcast Radio, you just heard the burning question because we played the wrong video on that one. But that's okay. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about writing college papers, and it's not just bigger words, guys. It's about writing appropriately and everything. You know, so I'll tell you what, I think it's time for the burning question. Since we already heard it once, let's just hear it again. Here we go.
Today's burning question is, What is the most common mistake students make in their first college essay? A. Using too many big words. B. Not having a clear thesis statement. C. Not citing their sources correctly. D. Writing about a boring topic. The heat is rising. Murph men, drop the knowledge and set the pace.
Sorry about that.
I just heard it again. I'm like, oh,
That's fine. All right. So, you know, the answer is having a clear thesis statement.
hmm
Why is that so important, Connor? What do you think?
I think it's important because you need to know what you're talking about and keep it on track with it instead of like going everywhere else in the paper. You want it to be like organized and on that topic itself. Because some people tend to like they talk about it, but then they just go off track and talk whatever, like to fill it up or something.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So you got to have a place to get started so you don't go off track.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think it'd be a good idea to change your topic or your thesis statement halfway through writing your paper?
No,
No, right?
because these statements, what it's about.
Right. So before you start researching or anything, decide what you're going to write your paper about. That's the most important thing you can do. Would you agree with me on that one?
Yeah.
You know, when you're sitting here, like for example, when I was doing this podcast, I was like, what do I want this podcast to be about? That's simple, about college stuff. We talked about this, right? Pretty simple. Okay, now I have to ask, what about college do I need to discuss here? Right? So I sat there and started saying, okay, I want to talk about this. Then I said, okay, how am I going to talk about it? I said, wait, stop. Before we even talk about how we're going to talk about it, we need to talk about our segments first. What do I want to have in the show? And it was basically, what can we do to share this in a way? Excuse me. What can we do to share this in a way that makes it interesting for people? Well, again, we talked about maybe this is not interesting to you how we do it, but that's how we chose to do it, you know?
Yeah.
But we came up with those topics, those subjects, those segments, I should say. And then we had the topics. I said, okay, now for every topic, I needed to match the segment.
Yeah.
Right. And then I wrote the papers and I expanded on them and I started doing all that. So as we're doing this, your thesis statement guides everything else that you do. It guides everything else you're doing. And having a clear thesis statement is you have to put thought into it before you just decide I'm just going to write about psychology and I got to be specific about what you want to write about. Excuse me.
You okay? You need some water?
I'll get some right now.
Okay. I'll get it on the slide.
The thesis statement helps you guide yourself on everything that you're going to be doing after that. So spend some time on coming up with a thesis statement. Usually that's why it's the teacher's first assignment. Give me a college thesis statement. And as we're doing it, you have to really work on it. You can't just say, I'm going to talk about this and that's it. When I went to my teacher and I said, I want to do a paper on which brain is faster, men or women's, he looked at me and he says, how are you going to test that? And I said, well, when you find out my paper, when you read my paper, you'll find out. Because I didn't know how I was going to test it. I knew what I wanted to do, right?
But you didn't know how to set it up.
Right. But I knew that was what I wanted to study. So after I did that, I started researching it and I learned more about it. And I said, okay, now I need to figure out how I'm going to test it. What test can I make that measures this? I found one, I did it, and then I turned it into him. And he goes, I've never heard of that. So, well, don't worry, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
The thesis statement helped me really guide myself on what I was doing there. But we're going to have to talk about some of these definitions. We're talking about thesis statement. I haven't really even defined that yet, but that's laying down the coals. That comes next. But I think it's time for today's hot take. What do you think, Connor?
That sounds great.
Clear writing is a sign of clear thinking. If your essay is confusing, you don't understand the material. Today's hot take is, clear writing is a sign of clear thinking. If your essay is confusing, you don't understand the material. Murph Man, step up and keep the energy high.
Here. Well, clear writing is a sign of clear thinking. If your essay is confusing, you don't understand the material. What do you think about that, Connor? If your essay is confusing, you don't understand the material. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, that is a fair statement.
You and I argue a lot over the way we explain things. you see the world very differently than I do.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm being very, very clear in my instructions, and you're like, you're not making, just shut up. You're not making any sense.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
Because you don't know how to explain it to someone that doesn't have your brain. Yes.
No, I don't think that's what it is.
Well, something to do with it.
I think it has to do with our age difference. We see things differently.
Well,
We have a different understanding of things.
true.
Like when we were talking about doing research papers, I said every class uses the scientific method. You know, like not every class, and I'm like telling you every class. Every time there's a research project, they use research method. You're like, okay, I'll agree with that, but you know,
Yeah, not
you,
in every class.
you were so stuck on that word of every. What I meant was every time you do a research project, you need to have that.
Well, you
Okay,
see, you specified and it was better.
I agree. That was a mislabel on my part. Now, as we're talking about things, I try to explain to you numbers. Now, what's interesting about it is your brain and my brain. No, put a camera on you. I want everyone to see your face right
I
now.
don't want to move.
You
my
know what?
camera. I'm scared. I need to change the light.
Yeah, we
and
need to lower it.
I'll do it on the break.
Let me-
I can do it right
Okay.
now if you want.
Yeah, lower it real quick. Because we were moving around stuff here, and lower it. We were moving stuff around, and it was in the way, so we had to do something. There we go. And we're just forgetting everything this morning. All right, you got it? All right. But when you and I talk about numbers, it's very different, isn't it? Right. You know, when I grew up, 1 plus 1 was 1 plus 1. 2 plus 2 is 2 plus 2. Now you do this Common Core math, which I still can't understand.
What do you mean?
Well, like it's different. It's not the same as counting 1, 2, and 3. You know, we learned multiplication tables. We learned how to add. I can do 12 times 12. You know, sometimes even 12 to 15. But you guys did not learn it that way. You learned through hash marks and okay, this is 3, this is 4. Count them. You know, we didn't do that.
What are you talking about? Hash marks.
Hash marks are when you
Tally marks.
tally marks. Yeah, hash marks, tally marks.
Well, that's just a way to be like instead of writing the full number, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How about you just look at the number and go 2 and 3 is 5?
Well, what if we don't have that?
What do you mean if you don't have the
What if we
numbers?
don't have the numbers. What if we just talk about it? We can't see numbers.
Right.
So then we're talking about it. That's why you just do.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. The way we learn is how we think. And when I'm explaining it to you, the way I learned it is different than the way you learned it. And obviously, we're not talking about 2 plus 3. Okay, we're talking about more in-depth numbers and whatnot.
Oh, that's what that we're talking
Well, no,
about.
but I'm saying like that Common Core. You know, you've seen the math where you multiply and you use the lines and then you count the dots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
I never did that.
Okay, what the hell is that? You know what I mean? An abacus where you scroll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When you go 10, you move it back and you move 1 on the top line, and then you can add up to millions.
Yeah, I never did that.
If you look at certain cultures, when they're doing tests and they can't use a calculator, they're in their head and they're doing this. What they're actually doing is they're moving the beads on an abacus because that's what they used to learn with.
Oh.
Now, our friend Letty, we were talking about this, and she learned on an abacus too. You know, Carla learned on an abacus. It's like, how? You know, it's interesting because when you're looking at all of this information that's out there and how it can be shared, well, you have what you want to share in your thesis to the world.
Yeah.
And it's very important how we write that. So I think we need to talk about that when we come back from break. We'll talk about laying down the codes and give you definitions. We'll give you those tips that you can use to help you from getting burned. And hopefully you'll find it interesting and come back. We'll be right back.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
According to the VA's suicide data report, an average of 22 veterans die by suicide every single day. This figure is a sobering reality and a crisis that demands our immediate attention and compassion. We must recognize and address the fact that every 24 hours, 22 veterans are losing their lives to suicide. The war doesn't always end when our veterans come home. The invisible wounds they carry, wounds that are real and heavy, require continuous support. No veteran should have to carry this burden alone. Many veterans experience stress and disconnection as they navigate life after service. But there is hope, there is help, and you are not alone in this fight. There's a vibrant community ready to support you, offering friendship, understanding, and shared experiences. You served your country, now let us serve you. Don't fight the toughest battle in silence. Your mission now is to reach out. Dial 988, then press 1. Text them at 838255. The Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7. Every day, we save lives. Your life is invaluable, and your service is honored. Let's work together to make 22-0 again. No veteran should face their struggles alone. Together, we can ensure every veteran finds the support and hope they deserve.
He gets help, but he still feels off. Sees an ad on the TV about a dog batting said, "This is a man's best friend." Whoa, so he goes one day and he picks it up. Never thought a dog could bring so much love and put a smile on his face. But he's finally found a saving grace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help, 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again.
Before we get back to the show, I'd like to pause for something that matters. I was inspired by Ryan Spencer's song, Make 22-0 Again. I'd like to remind you that help is always available 24/7, 365. If you ever feel you need support or are in crisis, call 988 and press 1 or text 838255. There will always be someone ready to listen. Remember, you are not alone. All right.
Stop thinking that using bigger words makes your writing better. It usually just makes it harder to read. Before we dig in, let's clarify some of the key terms we'll be using today while laying down the coals. Thesis statement, a clear, concise summary of the main point or claim of an essay. Evidence-based argument, using credible sources and logical reasoning to support your claims. Revision process, the act of reworking a draft to improve clarity, coherence, and impact. Now that the coals are laid, Murph Man, pass the torch and keep the momentum.
Porter claims and revision process. Improve clarity, coherence, and impact. So ask yourself to figure out what a thesis statement is, then what evidence-based resource are you going to use, and then as you rework it, improve the clarity, coherence, and impact. So let's talk about that. As we mentioned, when you're writing a paper, you don't want to just be willy-nilly. You want to be able to be researched that can be combined, not combined, repeated. Okay, you want to make sure someone can come in and look at your data, look at your way you tested, and then
You probably think your professor wants you to sound like a dictionary, but they actually just want to see your brain at work. Maya used to write essays the night before they were due, stuffing them with big words and filler. After visiting the writing center and learning how to outline and revise, her papers became sharper and more focused. She learned that a clean, well-structured argument is more powerful than a messy, verbose one. That was a story from the fire. Murph Man, unleash the heat and take control. Starting with a solid outline is the non-negotiable first step to mastering college-level communication. The heat map will show you where to focus your efforts for the most impact. Start with an outline, intro, thesis, body paragraphs, and conclusion. Use topic sentences to guide each paragraph. Revise in stages. Structure first, then clarity, then grammar. Back every claim with evidence instead of relying on opinion. The map is drawn. Murph Man, take the wheel and drive it home.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Staring out this hotel window, many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move on from over there. Give the kids a little scare. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town.
Before we get back to the show, Hot Takes with the Murph Man streams live every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern with Military Broadcast Radio. At mbradio.us, we give veterans a voice and help them launch their own podcasts. Make sure to visit purehottakes.com for all my socials and links to our premium content.
If you skip the revision process, you are essentially turning in a messy first draft of your own reputation. Let's talk about where you'll get burned. These are some common pitfalls. Prioritizing word count over clarity. Skipping the revision process entirely. Writing in isolation without using the writing center or peer feedback. A clean, well-structured argument is the only way to get the grade you actually want this semester. Your writing heat shield is the revision loop. Deploy this shield by sharing your draft with a trusted peer or visiting the campus writing center. This protective layer deflects structural weaknesses and logical gaps before the professor sees them. The shields are up. Murph Man, ignite the engine and keep us moving. The most powerful thing you can do for your writing is to spend less time typing and more time revising. Here are some questions for reflection. What's my biggest writing challenge and how can I tackle it? How do I feel about feedback and how can I use it to grow? What's one writing habit I want to build this semester?
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Wonder what was going on inside a man in black's mind. Was he missing June? Was he thinking back when that picture was snapped? Was he wishing he could hold her? Did he know his life was over? The day that camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. There on his face, show hard living and show grace. A story told in shades of black. Was he whispering a prayer through that cold and lonesome glare? The day the camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash. The lines of life there on his face, show hard living and show grace. A story told in shades of black. Was he whispering a prayer through that cold and lonesome glare? The day the camera flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash. Wonder what was going on inside a man in black's mind. The day old Marty flashed the last picture of Johnny Cash.
Before we get back to the show, remember that Hot Takes with the Murph Man is partnered with Stream915.com, the place for premium content you won't find in the live podcast or on socials. Visit purehottakes.com to connect on socials and unlock your discount link to Stream915.com.
A clean, well-structured argument is the only way to get the grade you actually want this semester. The Inferno is digital. Use AI grammar tools, like Grammarly, to check for tone and conciseness. Utilize citation management software, like Zotero or Mendeley, to organize your evidence. Keep all your drafts and brag sheets in a single cloud folder like Google Drive for easy access. Use online course platforms to pre-study writing styles before your next big assignment. The Inferno is digital. Murph Man, throw some more wood on the fire. Good writing isn't about sounding fancy. It's about being heard. Say it clearly, back it up, and own your voice. The final flame has been struck. Murph Man, wrap it up and keep it hot.
That's a wrap on this episode. If you're looking for more, you can find all the best clips from the show on our social media pages. For all the links and more information about what we talked about today, visit purehottakes.com. And if you want to watch the full replay or get access to our premium content, subscribe now at stream915.com. We appreciate you tuning in.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.